Hi, this is Jonathan. How you guys doing? If you remember the earlier video that I did where I compare passive to active pickups, I thought I would do a video just for EMG pickups, or rather just EMG active pickups, which were installed in the guitars that I own. I have 4 of them at home in the studio, so I just thought I'd give you an insight to how they sound and what they are. So stick around. So the EMG pickups are really great because they cancel out the 60 cycle hum, and it has enough power to have a healthy signal into your signal chain, whatever it be, your effects or your amps. Being active, sometimes you will find this discrepancy between passive and active equipped guitars that you have, because the passive guitar will sound softer, or in other words more wimpier. But that's not the case. It's just that the signal is really strong because it's powered by 9-volt batteries, you know. And in contrary to what people always think, that the EMGs have this sterile sound that masks over every characteristic of the guitar, that is actually wrong, because as you can hear from the song earlier on, you will know that if it's equipped on a Strat guitar, it will sound like a Strat guitar. It will not necessarily take away the characteristic of the guitar. It's just that, well, you have balanced outputs coming out from all 3 pickups, so that's the only thing, and higher outputs. And depending on what you have with the other accessories that EMGs have brought forth, like the SPC control, you know, this will give you a further dB boost as well as a mid-range boost. And that's it. So here is a couple of the guitars that I have, which are equipped with EMG pickups. So here are the EMG equipped guitars that I have. There is another one which I will show you much later on. Let's start with the earlier one. The earliest one is this 1985 Contemporary Stratocaster from Japan, from Fender Japan. And I had this when I was 25 years old, back in 1985. And it first came in with stock pickups, but didn't quite took a fancy to them. So, but I continue to use it because it's really nice. It came without the turquoise pickguard then. It had a black pickguard, but I was using it extensively for the gigs that I was doing back then in the clubs. And later on, when I became a studio engineer, I decided to change these to EMGs. Not the same set, an earlier set, which I forgot which model was those. But anyway, I used it for many sessions because it was noiseless, with no 60 cycle hum. And years later, I retired it to my home, which is the studio at home, and I use it primarily as a MIDI guitar. But then I left it in the corner for many years, and it gathered cobweb and dust, and I retired it to a place under my bed. Yeah, and yeah, I got it resurrected like a couple of years back, about 3 or 4 years ago, and did a whole work on it. My luthier friends helped a lot, you know, and I changed the pickups, and now these are the Gill EMG set, you know, and it came with the SBC control, which primarily it boosts up a couple of dBs on the overall volume, and if you activate it, you know, as you roll it on, it brings out a little bit on the mids too. So it's really good for, like, you know, if you want a solo sound, you know, and just all you have to do is just turn it up and it works just fine. The configurations are the same: 5-way pickup selector, clean, really nice, really quiet, really subtle, and you can get the Gill sound with this guitar because the reason why I love this Strat is because it's so stratty, you know, it sounds so stratty. So yeah, so this is the earlier model, and it came originally came with a locking nut here, right here, because they were trying to do a sort of a slipshot version of the White Rose, but it didn't work. So the original bridge was taken off, the locking nut was taken off, and these are the Wilkinson bridge, which was installed much later on. And then we have the Luke 2. Luke 2 was procured somewhere in 2011, I think. And I had the Luke 1, but it went missing. So I love the Luke 1. I used it for the earlier concerts back in '98. It had a White Rose. The Luke 1 has a White Rose with the same, I believe, the same set of pickups, the SL2, not mistaken, the Steve Lukather set. The Steve Lukather set, right? And I decided to go ahead and get a Luke 2. A lot of difference. No White Rose. Came with your own customized bridge, floating bridge, and a customized nut. I'm not sure about this material. It looks like plastic, but I don't think it's plastic. But in any case, this guitar is so beautiful. You know, it's so comfortable. You know, and it has the roasted maple neck, bird's eye roasted maple neck. And the battery compartment is right here, which incidentally has a little bit of a problem because when the compartment gets loose, when the batteries get loose as you play, as you hit your guitar on your hip, you know, it will have like, you know, it has this big booming sound coming out of nowhere. When you're soloing, that is a bad thing. When you're doing a solo and it goes, and that's really bad. Anyway, you can have it fixed by tightening the connection to the network batteries. And I've changed it now to a 9.5 gauge, in case if y'all haven't seen the earlier videos that I did about changing gauges. So I had this changed to a 9.5, and now I'm so comfortable with this guitar right now. It's so cool. Yeah. So this is my Fender Squier vintage modified Telecaster. It's really interesting. I was on tour, on a concert tour in Hong Kong, and I was sleeping in the hotel, and a friend called me and said, "Look, you gotta come down to the music store." And the music store at that time was Tom Lee. It was one of the biggest, in fact, it's the biggest music store in Hong Kong. You had to check out this Telecaster. So I went down grudgingly because I wanted to sleep. Anyway, I went down and saw this beautiful guitar, and I tried it, and I just instantly fell in love with it. It's an interesting guitar because it's a Telecaster, but with a Jazzmaster neck, and it originally came with a Jazzmaster pickup. You know, I don't know whether is it a P90 or a humbucker. I'm not too sure. I think it's a P90. You know, so it came with a Jazzmaster pickup and a standard Telecaster bridge pickup, and played it for a while, but love the feel of the neck because the neck is really comfortable. But yeah, I didn't quite like the sound because it was humming all over the place because they were on shield. Well, they're not active, so they're passive pickups. So it took me a while to consider, and I decided to let it have a makeover. So I had the Tele EMG X pickup for the bridge, as well as the EMG X for the neck, and it also has the SBC control. So I have to forego the tone control, and then I have the SBC control right on here where the tone control used to be. So it works the same as the Strat. If you want a gain boost as well as a mid-range boost, you just have to dial it in, and that's about it. And it's a great guitar to have. The other EMG equipped guitar is this Mexican Richie Sambora Strat that I bought years ago. It came in with their version, the Fender's version of White Rose, stock and tuner, and it came with the stock pickups, which I used it for a while. I used it for a couple of concerts. The bridge, the tailpiece kept dying on me, so I was down to my second set. After changing the second set, I decided, you know, the heck with it, I'm just going to retire this guitar. So this guitar was retired at this studio for a while, and then decided to have a makeover done on it. And I bought the set of SL2, the Steve Lukather EMG pickups from Amazon. I just bought it for the spur of the moment, and I had my friend my Luther friends to install it for me. Well, the SL2 pickguard couldn't actually fit into the guitar, so we had to do a little bit of modification here and there. And I decided to, you know, to get rid of the stock tailpiece and got myself an original White Rose. So the only thing to worry about is the batteries, and I bought batteries, and I had it slotted into this compartment right here. So every time I change batteries, you know, it's a hassle, but I know. It's definitely worth it because I love the neck. The neck is really not that thick. It's like a modern C neck, and the guitar relatively stay in tune. Yeah, pretty well. I haven't been using this guitar much, probably because of the I don't know, it's heavy. Yeah, I rather take the Luke with me when I'm going on tour. So, but this is a good guitar to have as a backup. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. That's all I have for EMG pickups in my collection. And if you're interested in asking me some questions about EMG pickups, feel free to ask me in the comment section down below. And I sure hope that you enjoyed this video. And if you do, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel if need be. Alright, so I'll see you around. Ciao.